Okay, Dada, namaskar.
Namaskar.
So your project is not ordinary social project. I mean, usually it's social project for people who have some needs and you do service, but here it's not like this. I mean, it's not the only way.
Mm-hmm.
It's also spiritual part.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell us more about it? Why is that? How it can be combined and why it's necessary or something like this? Because it looks like two different approaches, maybe. So.
Okay. Well, there is a tradition that I can say there are two traditions. One is what social service is a like thing. It's something that people do in the civil society, taking care of the needy, those who are facing difficulties for whatever reason, maybe not of their own doing. Sometimes people have difficulties that they're not because they made a mistake or because of they were lazy or situation like that. But there is also a tradition which is connected with spirituality and with religious also organizations that are very much involved in social service. Like especially, I think in the Catholic world there's much attention to charity and to help the homeless and help those who are in hospitals. They need assistance and comfort, So it's something that it's not so uncommon. In our case, it's like we are inspired by our spiritual path, by our spiritual approach to life, to see everything as the expression of the Supreme. And so when we see somebody who is suffering, who has got difficulties, we tend to feel that we have to do something about it in a positive sense. So spirituality is an inspiration in this case. And of course, even if the inspiration is spiritual, when you start doing that, you get inspired by doing it. So it's like a virtuous cycle that gets created. The more you see the smiles on the people's faces and they are grateful because you're doing something positive to help them, that creates a lot of stimulus to continue doing it and to do it more and to expand it. So, but it's also true that when you give yourself, you have to sacrifice something of your own. You have to sacrifice time, you have to sacrifice energy, you have to sacrifice rest. So if you do that a lot, then you will deplete. Energy will not be there, you'll be tired. And so the spiritual aspect of it, in particular the meditation, regenerates subtle energy into you. That's like a very good balancing, instrument, method to carry on and to do more, more service. So we encourage the social service, of course. We feel actually that volunteering and to do something for others is something everybody should do. Maybe small, maybe more, maybe in one way, maybe another, doesn't matter. You can help animals, you can help plants, you can help human beings, you can help the environment, you can help anything. But something that is not selfish, but it is selfless, it's very important everybody does.
Oh, why it's so important?
Because it just gives a depth to your living. If you think only for yourself, your life becomes a little bit like dry. Maybe you will have more happiness on the short term, maybe more enjoyment, but it won't last. It's going to be thin, like superficial. Whereas when you enrich others with your help, and then that comes back in a subtle form and gives you a different breadth, a different depth of living, so that everyone should have a deep life, really fulfilling life at all levels, not just materials, but spiritual, psychic, all the three aspects of life must be rich, must be really fulfilled. So we encourage social service for everyone, volunteering, And the people who come here, we also encourage to do meditation. And of course, meditation is not a lifestyle that one can impose on others, but with the proper good example, and inspiration, people do like to try meditation. That is helpful.
Mm-hmm. But for example, if I have a depression or something, I don't know, bad mood or depression, let's say. Okay, is it help if I go and do service to others? Will I feel better?
Yes, I think it's the best medicine.
Oh, really?
Yes, because when you suffer depression, in fact, you are too much focused on your own problems, or maybe doubts. Maybe you don't know what to do. Maybe you are disappointed about something. You're frustrated. Yeah, so many issues. Maybe the root cause, maybe the root cause of depression. But the moment you involve yourself with other people's problems, issues, difficulties, then you tend to forget your own. It means your own becomes less in the center stage and they become the center stage. And so this gives you some kind of pause, some kind of relief.
But should I force myself at the time, or
in the beginning it's okay forcing, because to do service is not, especially if you don't have much energy, psychic energy, it's difficult. But if you start, it's like appetite. Sometimes you don't have when you sit on the table. When you start picking something, then it comes. Right? So it's the same thing. When you start seeing people enjoying your whatever you're doing, that gives a lot of stimulus to continue. And then you see the long-term benefits. Like suddenly you haven't thought about your problem for 2 hours, or you haven't thought about it one day, and that is really helpful, because it gives you the chance to see from a different perspective life. Otherwise it's very self-centered. It's very just focus on your problem or one issue. And sometimes there are serious issues, and of course we should address them. And not always somebody who's depressed wants to address the issues that are the root cause of their problem. So other people's problems gives you more courage to face your problems and to try to resolve them once for all. Because the pain you suffer when you face your problem is intense, but if you face it, you may resolve it. It's intense, but you won't have it later. Whereas if you keep on accepting this slow dosage of pain every day, the amount of suffering is a lot more, because it's extended over time. So it's much better to face the problem, suffer even something like maybe you have to have a clash with somebody, maybe you have to give up something, that you like, but in the end you will be happier, you will be more balanced, more satisfied, and and that's what really we long more for, is a peace of mind.
Okay, but in order to start, should I do first what I like to do, or it doesn't matter, or it's better to choose not what I really like to do?
It doesn't matter as long as it is something selfless. Anything goes. I mean, every one of us has preferences. Like I like children, I like elderly, I like animals, I like to go and clean the streets from garbage or the beach. Anything is useful for others, and you don't do it for yourself. That qualifies, for this. It's the first level, because eventually you start understanding that you should be doing what is needed, not what you like. And what is needed is not always what you like, unfortunately. But it can become, because if you do something that is meaningful and the results are more powerful, more useful, then you will understand that, yes, I will spend my time, my energy wisely, usefully. So that's a great inspiration.
Okay. So what about volunteers who came to the project? I mean, they came because of spiritual part, or they come because of social project. And okay, how do you manage what they should do? I mean, do you force them to do meditation if they never done it before, or how it looks like?
So the people who come here, they come for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, I should say most of them, they come because they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do in life. You know, it's a very common condition. You finish maybe university studies, and sometimes people chose a kind of topic or faculty they really didn't like, maybe because their parents wanted it or someone else, or maybe because it's easier to make money, to find a job, but they don't really love maybe the subject, or at the end of it, they don't know what to do because they don't really like it. And so they feel a little bit lost. Coming here is like an opportunity to, again, see things from a different perspective, not your own usual selfish thinking. I mean, it's not selfish in the bad sense, but just thinking about yourself, what you need, what you want. So that's one kind of people. Other people, other volunteers come because they are attracted by the spiritual aspect of the lifestyle, or we are vegetarians, or vegetarianism now it's much more acceptable than what it was. When I became vegetarian 40 years ago, more than 40 years ago, maybe 45 years ago, there were very, very few. And so you were like an alien. Now, as far as statistics, in Italy, 80% of people are vegetarian, so it's quite a good amount of people. So it's quite acceptable. Yoga also, it's become fashionable, so it's not that it's something mysterious or dangerous. So people come because in fact, it's an opportunity to learn something more. And so no, we don't force, because forcing is, as I said before, it's not something you can do. About diet. I should say about diet is like our cooking, our kitchen, our ingredients are all vegetarian. So people won't be able to cook here their meat or something like that. But if they want to go out and eat something that is not vegetarian, that's certainly their own choice. As long as, because meat and cooking, it is also it smells in a certain way, whether it's like we don't eat garlic is very powerful, so we don't really like that, but people can do that as well. Same thing we do with smoking. We don't smoke here. We don't drink alcohol, because especially all those things that are meant to escape from reality, it's not healthy in general. And so if you come here, you take the opportunity to try to eliminate that escape route of drugs or smoke or alcohol, and try to be happy with life, with the reality, so that you don't need to escape from it. And that's a good thing for health. It's a good thing for mental health, because it strengthens the willpower. Meditation strengthens the willpower, so then you can be happier and more balanced even outside. People who come here, they don't stay here forever. So they will go back to normal life outside. It's not a community. So when they're alone, it will be easier to control and to find a balance in between service life, personal life, working life, and friends, because you have to choose friends carefully. Otherwise, the flow may bring you to where you may not like to go, just because you want to be into the collective flow. So they say that if a lame goes with the lame, if a normal person goes with the lame, he starts, walking not straight. So we should be careful with friends and friendships. And but everyone can improve. I mean, there is nobody who is cursed forever. If the right environment, the right circumstances are there, they will benefit. So that's why we're here.
But do you stay in touch with ex-volunteers?
Yes.
How it's going on?
Yes.
Their
I
life?
mean, most of them keep in touch, so we know what's You know, they went in, like somebody went to Japan and somebody is doing a cruise, or like they tell us what they're doing. If the experience being positive, you like to keep in touch. If not, then maybe you don't. I don't know. So it's you cannot please everybody. I mean, to think that everybody is happy, that's like nobody can do that. So we try to make things as happy as possible for everyone. If somebody's got expectations that are not matching, or they're not matched by what is the reality here, they will not be happy, they will leave. But it's okay, that's life. I mean, we don't have the ambition that everybody should be happy. Not even God can do that. Definitely do.
Okay.